everybody know that we are live, and we are all here with my esteemed journalist panel to announce the lineup for Made in America 2013. This is the second annual festival, and there are a whole bunch of acts to be announced. So this is the official announcement of who you will see at the festival this year, and I believe John is going to start the list, right?
That's right. We're gonna go through the music, and as we play the music, we're gonna reveal the lineup. We are playing the music.
We're figuring this out as we go along.
Okay, Angie. All right. So first up, and we're skipping the first one, I'm told. Correct? I was just told that. We're gonna start with Solange. Yes. All right. That's what I'm told. So we got Solange first up, and of course Solange. So blown up in the last few months, particularly sort of in the indie rock world, in addition to the pop and R&B world. Guys, she's the first addition to this lineup. Thoughts?
Excited. It's great. Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah.
That's all you got? Exciting? Has anybody seen her perform before or recently?
She's great. She's definitely carving out her own niche outside of her sister's shadow there, and you know, she was in GQ about a month ago, so it's really exciting to see her on the lineup. Looking forward to it.
Let me ask you about the fact that she's gotten this sort of embrace by working with some indie rock. I know she's a big fan of that music, but the fact that she's really gotten this embrace in the last couple of months from that world.
Yeah, she's definitely in that, like, the downtown crew with the Dev Hines and all the cool kids now, so she's in sort of her own lane there, and it's really cool to see.
I'm wondering if she'll bring any of those people out on stage with her at the festival. That'd be something to watch for.
That'd be amazing.
I'm hoping she could DJ a little bit. I like her. I like her DJing too. I DJ a few times.
I think she might actually hit us off with both. That would be really exciting.
Yeah.
With what you said, that is a challenge for her, right? To sort of, I mean, you're in the shadow of one of the most famous women in the world, in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's really come into her own though as an artist. I mean, the EP she put out last year sort of hasn't left rotation since it came out around my house. And I think she's successfully shown that she's not limited by one genre, that she has a really sort of unique, sort of her own take on music, that she can kind of express herself in a lot of different forms. And I think that's something that's really cool and has really attracted a big audience.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to see some of these chats of these comments on the chat. I'm trying to find them. Are any of you guys more savvy at this than I am? Because I know there's some chatting going on.
I think we're in the same boat.
You can see it on the side. If you guys go to the YouTube link, it's over on like the right rail.
How do I do that and not get disconnected from this very important page and announce it?
They're just going to open up in another window.
Yeah, open up another window and then mute it.
Ah, yes, very exciting.
Yes.
Is there? Can you see them, Shamar? Can you see the comments? Any comments up there?
Let me see. I can. Wait. Actually, no, I can't.
Diane G says, I love Solange. She's a great performer. I'm really happy about this.
Yeah, okay.
Good.
All right.
You guys are going to be my correspondents because I don't want to try to open that box and disconnect myself. All right, John, give us the next one.
All right, moving on to a little bit of alt rock here. We got the Gaslight Anthem, who just were in town either last night or the night before. I know a lot of people I work with were going to see them, and a lot of people excited about that. So Gaslight Anthem.
Yeah, these guys, they always put on a really, really great show. I know they're sort of renowned for their live shows. Brian Fallon, their front man, is a really just dynamic presence on stage. And, they have a lot of famous fans. Bruce Springsteen is one of their huge influences, and also someone who's actually come out on stage with them a few times. So who knows, he might be in Philly this summer.
Absolutely.
That's what's cool about these kind of festivals. You get an artist that brings out like Bruce Springsteen to watch them perform, and then he's there to see the new up and coming hip hop artist because he's there for the festivals. This is what's cool about it.
For sure.
Okay, should we go to the next?
So we Fuse News actually not too long ago was on the red carpet over the Brit Awards, which was maybe like a month ago, and the big winner of the night, Entertainer of the Year at the Brit Awards, is a woman who's just sort of kind of starting to make her mark in this country, and that's Emily Sandé. So she's going to be Made in America as well. She's made in the UK, but hey, I think America's starting to embrace her.
Yeah, I think she's someone who's really poised for sort of an American takeover. I think this is her moment for that.
that's one of the great things about these type of festivals, is that you can see the established, people that have made their mark worldwide, but you also can see the people who are like sort of up and coming, the next.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, moving on back to hip hop. We got Schoolboy Q in the lineup.
Ow. Oh, sorry. That's all I got. I would like to add on a side note, if you look at Schoolboy Q's Instagram page, I am the only person he follows. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting for everyone?
Nice. That's nice.
Wow.
Very happy for yourself.
It's so random and bizarre, but I have now a special place in my heart for him for that reason alone.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to seeing him perform.
That's
These
kind
guys
of
all
pressure,
have
though,
the-
right? Now you gotta, if he's you're the only person he follows.
I know. I do feel the pressure to like all his photos. I do feel that type of pressure. It's true. I will feel the pressure to make sure I'm somewhere near the stage when he performs at the festival.
All right, moving back to some indie music. Walk the Moon. They had a big record last year in the indie world, anyway, indie pop world. Tightrope was a big song for them. Thoughts on Walk the Moon?
Well, they're definitely a band with a lot of buzz around them, and I think one thing that's really cool about this festival is that you can really see just sort of the diversity and the range of different kinds of artists. The fact that you can see a Schoolboy Q 1 minute, or a Walk the Moon the next. I think that's a cool experience that's true to the way people listen to music. I think that's really cool.
I don't need to tell you guys that a gentleman who had one of the biggest records and biggest years of last year is Kendrick Lamar, and happy to say that Kendrick is in the lineup as well.
Amazing.
That's amazing. I can't wait to see. I really hope Kendrick brings out some of the guests that he's done. I would love to see him and Jay do their collaboration. I would love to see him and Drake, but he has a lot of great records on his own, and this is a beautiful moment for TDE.
Did we lose you?
Did we lose Shah?
I think we
A
did.
little bit.
Man, he was saying something amazing too. I know
He was.
I know it was. I'm excited about Kendrick. I think it's this is clearly Kendrick's year, and I think it'll be interesting to see him on a stage of that magnitude with all these different type of artists, to see how he kind of rises to the occasion, which I'm sure he will.
Without a doubt.
Definitely think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on, we got an indie pop group with sort of a retro vibe. Fits in the Tantrums, who I've seen a couple times, and they're interesting band to me because they've got this this ability to sort of cross over into the I think there's certain indie acts that have the ability to sort of have mainstream pop traction, and they do this sort of it's pretty much a straight up fun show from start to finish.
Yeah, they're an incredibly fun live act, and I think you're right. They have this great sort of retro classic soul sound, but then they sort of put a new spin on it, take it into the 21st century in a kind of a cool way that I think people really enjoy.
I'm a little amazed at how many names there are on this list, you guys.
I know we may have.
There are, yes.
We're gonna
I
be
don't know
here
how
all
long-
day.
Exactly. I'm looking at like about 20 more. Not to scare anybody who's watching, but
Well, all the more reason to go to the festival. You have 20 days. We have 2 days. It's 2 days of festival, so they got to fill it up, I guess.
exactly.
Yeah, we didn't skip one, did we? I see
did I
somebody
skip
on the
one?
list
I
there.
think we did skip a name.
Yeah, before Kendrick.
John.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You could,
This is what happens, Angie. I need my glasses. I deliberately didn't wear my glasses because I didn't want too old. Jesse Rose is the one I skipped. I'm sorry about that. House artist, electronic artist Jesse Rose.
Cool.
Thoughts?
cool.
Yeah. And Wolfgang Gartner on the house tip as well,
Right. So you'll have something to dance to definitely that weekend.
for sure. Including Aluna George, continuing on with the electronic sound.
Do these guys all have the
Another
Spotify
hip-hop artist.
link? Because they know they can follow along, right, and see the songs and the artists as they come in?
Oh, you should tell people.
Let me grab that.
Am I back? Can you guys hear
Good
me?
job, Nate. Good job. Way to
Yes,
stay on the
you're back,
ball,
Shai. I
Nate.
hear you.
You back?
Try.
Okay.
So when I was at South by just a couple weeks ago. I think maybe one of the maybe 5 most talked about artists were Haim. Looks like Haim, but it's pronounced Haim. LA girls who definitely, I mean, since going back to at least some point last year, really been getting a lot of attention. And Haim will be there for sure.
Yeah, I saw them put on an incredible show at South by Southwest a couple weeks ago, and they're just a really sort of dynamic, vivid live act. They really connect with the crowd. They have great sort of between songs patter, in addition to really sort of bringing it on stage. A really sort of a classic rock sound that sounds sort of updated in a great way.
A guy that I know you guys know, and I met a couple times, including at the Grammys, when every time I would see Wiz, Wiz is one of the, like they say some people wear a certain kind of cologne that it arrives before they do.
Like,
him and Snoop have the same cologne.
What's that?
Him and Snoop Dogg have the same cologne.
Exactly. Yeah. I forgot the name of it. But anyway, yeah, Wiz Khalifa definitely going to be there, part of Made in America.
I wonder if he'll bring Amber and the baby.
You know that. I mean, Wiz is seasoned now,
It's true.
Yeah.
All right, I'm posting the Spotify link in the chat here, y'all.
Okay.
So if anyone can see it, I hope so. Let us know.
All right, I need you EDM fans to help me out now with Nero, because that's our next artist on the lineup. Are you guys hearing me?
What was that?
Oh, it's it. Our Nero, EDM artist, our next artist on the lineup.
Oh yeah, Nero, they're great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely,
we're gonna have
medium
to.
presence.
You said they have a strong media presence.
No, I'm saying there's a strong EDM presence at this festival so far, and I think that's an interesting thing about it.
For sure. All right, back to the hip hop front. Absol going to be there.
Great. Absol is he's like sort of like the unsung hero of the whole TDE crew. I feel like he's really someone who's poised to really break out this year.
Yeah, and that's another great thing about the TDE camp, because the people, obviously Kendrick is the breakout star right now, but Absol and Schoolboy, these are the guys that's next up, and they've been kind of positioning themselves, touring all across the world, so to build up to a point like this, to play a major festival like this.
Yeah, definitely big moment for them. Absolutely.
All right, moving on. GTA, J-Rock, and Imagine Dragons.
Where's our indie rock people? Indie rock, stand up.
Well, I mean, Imagine Dragons are one of those bands that you've just seen on a steady rise for what?
Yeah.
A couple of years now, really.
Yeah, and they're huge now. I mean, they've really blown up, one of the year's big breakout rock bands. So that's exciting.
Totally. And then a guy that has not only done great stuff on his own, but has collaborated with so many people, from Rihanna to Florence Welch and many others. Calvin Harris.
Nice.
He's going to be amazing.
He's going to rip that down.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
There's certain artists you hope that they're going to be on after dark too,
Absolutely.
It's like I haven't seen the times for these things, but hopefully. ASAP.
He's had a good year. I love ASAP Rocky.
ASAP Rocky, yes.
ASAP, he just has a cult following that.
I think yeah, I was gonna say I think he's past that at this point. I think that cult following
built up.
Yeah.
It's Kendrick's year. It's ASAP's year. This is gonna be great.
It's going to be amazing to see what ASAP is going to wear. Like, I know people are going to be talking about his outfits, too.
Well, that's us. That's what we do. The worldwide leader in tie bars over here at GQ. But, yeah, Rocky's one of our favorite guys, and we're keeping up with everything he's doing. So, we'll have our eye out.
We can't jump around on the list. We have to talk about as it comes up.
So, take time. No, I'm going in order.
Okay, but we have to just wait until they actually put it up.
We're going too fast. Are there some? Are there some any notes on the chat?
John's in trouble again. On the chat, let me see.
So
I'll be right back.
So which one are we on now? Okay.
John, you're messing the whole thing up.
Too much pressure. I didn't because I'm not.
This is a very important announcement, and you're messing it up. No, I'm just playing.
Folks are really excited about Calvin.
They are.
Yeah. They're saying the Spotify link. Where is that at? I thought somebody posted that here live.
I thought I posted that. I thought it showed up. Let me see again.
Uh-oh.
I don't think the chat wants to let me post web addresses.
Nate
Do you guys see it from my link?
We're
I'll post it from the GQ Magazine account. So follow at GQ Magazine on Twitter.
Oh, we're doing promotion.
And, yeah, get us on there.
So should we go back? How do you?
Well, let's just slow down when we talk about festivals. Talk about,
Yeah.
You know, if Andrew could bring up festivals,
Yeah.
I'll try to text her really quick.
Were you guys at the festival last year? How many of you went last year?
I did.
So much
not
fun.
that-
I bet you did. You
Yo,
better have. It's in your
how-
backyard, right?
So how was it? How did it compare to other festivals you've been to?
It was amazing. It was something different, I guess, in terms for the city. But if you're a festival goer, then it was just like an ordinary festival to you. But if you were here in Philadelphia, like people that really never experienced
Well,
that,
because
it
a
was
lot of
over the top.
times festivals are like, they have them in these big like open areas, and you don't think of this big open area in the middle of Philly. Like they literally had to shut the city down to make it happen. And if you felt like you were in some big, I don't know, it was really amazing. Just the fact that they were able to pull it off, and it was.
Did you
it was
guys in
something to
Philly?
say.
And did you feel for a while that Philly should have had its own festival of this size?
Repeat that again?
Did you feel like maybe for a while that Philly was not included in the sort of the festival season? It was good.
I do feel that, and I do feel that others may have thought that as well. I mean, just walking to the festival last year when you were just like hearing chatter amongst other folks just walking or stopping by like a bar or something just to have like a drink on the way there and just getting yourself amped up for it, you would hear the chatter like, oh, why hasn't this happened before? And then not just Philadelphians, there were people from out of town here, and hotels are already booked.
Oh, hotels were totally booked. We had a hard time. We had a hard time getting a room. Yeah. So you guys, if you guys are planning to head out, you should absolutely get your travel arrangements together. But if you're on the East Coast, Philly's a cool place to kind of drive into, go to the concert, get a cheesesteak on your way home, and then just do it like a big road trip, which is cool. Like if you're from New York, it's an easy road trip.
It's pretty centrally located.
Yeah, I think so.
Did you find, for those of you guys who were there last year, did you find that with this mix of artists, that the crowd too was a real mix of fans from
super
dancing?
mixed? Super mixed all together. And people didn't leave. You know how sometimes, like, when the hip-hop artists come, certain people leave. And then when the indie rock groups come on, I feel like everybody kind of rocked out to everybody, which was really cool.
I thought the vibe was incredible, especially when you had, like, Kim, and especially with social media, Kim Instagramming that the plane was landing in Philadelphia, and then everyone kind of got this vibe. The conversations are going around, is Kanye going to be here? It's going to be good music, and that whole thing happened, and people just went absolutely nuts.
Yeah, so true. It's really true.
Not to take away from this.
What do you say? Moving down.
John has put his glasses on, everybody. It's about to get
About to get real.
Well, now I'm working with two screens because now I've got the Spotify screen, and we definitely jumped ahead because we're on Wolfgang Gardner right now.
Oh, well, luckily for everybody who's watching us, they got it early. They got the news early.
Yeah, I know.
You can thank us later for the late breaking news.
We got about 15 that we shouldn't have said yet. But.
Oh well, too late now.
Wolfgang, but like you were saying before, I mean, it's a good mix, and if you're a house fan, there's definitely something for you. EDM fans.
We got Feed Me, right? Did we get Crystal Fighters?
Twizzler?
We got the Love Out There podcast?
NyQuil? Dayquil?
We haven't gotten to them yet, but they are.
Ricola?
They are on the way.
Oh. What is that? What is on the way? The rest of the list?
No. I'm saying Crystal Fighters are coming up, but we're doing this along with Spotify, so.
So we're waiting for Spotify to catch up.
Right, exactly. And right now we're talking to Wolfgang Gardner.
Still.
We are, yeah. Well, it's a 3-minute, 8-second song.
Does anybody have any funny little anecdotes about that?
Oh, God.
I think it's great. I mean, it's the EDM. It's right back to that scene again. It's the electro music. It's the production. I think EDM fans kind of hate us at GQ this week. I don't know if you guys have been watching the news at all, but we've had some fun with them. But we like them, so hopefully they like us back. We'll get through this Avicii.
I still keep hearing from European friends how it's like it's nice. People saying things like, "It's nice to know that America's finally caught up with EDM, and now it's almost as mainstream as it's been for years over here."
Yeah.
It's that vibe.
Yeah.
We have any chat comments on there?
What up, yo?
I'll check the chat.
Who has?
1, 2, 3. Uno Dos Tres says, Angie, share some Twizzlers. Angie keeps it gully all the time.
Wow. Is that because of the Twizzlers? I'm sorry, I haven't had lunch yet.
And you look amazing even when you're sick.
Yo, stop it.
I ain't say that. They said that.
Oh, I thought that was you. I was like, come on. Come on.
Yo, so make sure everyone out there following along knows that if they're featured on a track, that's not part of the lineup. It's the artist. The main artist is the one that we're announcing.
Well, somebody like Calvin Harris. I mean, I wonder, does he bring out those people that are on some of his songs? I mean,
You have to wonder, yeah.
yeah. There's so many collaborations there. It's a good opportunity if somebody's not on the bill and just kind of wants to pop up and do an appearance.
Yeah.
In a set like that, it's
And then since there's so many different artists and there's going to be so much energy or different energy up on that stage, I wouldn't be surprised if they just started doing that anyway, because I know that's what happened last year.
Yeah. Oh, it was so much fun last year. Oh,
I wish I would have saw you.
How'd you miss me?
I was in the crowd. Wait a minute, I didn't.
Gazillion people there.
Ange, I wanted to sit in the crowd and like get the whole experience. My friends were like, "Come up here." I'm like, "No, I'm not going up back there with you. I'm not going over there with you. I want to sit here with this crowd and feel like this, like just feel the energy." And it was incredible.
We did that when we got there. They put us in like, I guess, the press area, so we were like sitting on the side with like, you know, industry people, which was cool. I mean, we were having cocktails and stuff and enjoying that too, but at some point we were like, we need to really, and so we just went out into the crowd, and honestly that was the most fun because everybody, you know, dancing, and it it was, you know, people were delirious at that point. It was so late, and it's just such a great time. And
I was tempted to go moshing. I really was. I was.
Sometimes you just got to get in it.
It's just
Have a chance this year.
How we looking over there, John?
Is this updating? It doesn't look like it is.
We went down from Wolfgang. We got a Luna George on there. Haim. And Wiz Khalifa just added.
I would like to know what Jay-Z is doing that he's too busy to get on this conference with us.
He's back from Cuba, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he should be on here.
How did Jay in the beginning decide to do it in Philly anyway? Do you guys know this backstory of that?
Philly reps?
Yeah?
What was that? I mean, this is Philadelphia's like Jay's second home, to be honest with you. We've always had like, I don't even know the word kind of love to even explain the love that this city has for Jay-Z. Seriously. He comes to the city and he's welcomed with open arms. It's like Jay-Z could come and do like an old school set. He could do anything. He could say the sky was falling. People would run inside. I mean, we really love that dude.
We don't mind them so much in New York either.
Yeah,
isn't that kind of anywhere for Jay-Z at this point?
All right, guys. So they just informed me that Haim and Wiz Khalifa are up now. So,
oh, good.
Wiz stories.
Well, you know, like we were saying earlier, Wiz is seasoned at this. He's somebody that's been touring for the past 5 years steadily, and, you know, starting out from 800 people venues to festivals such as this, and you know, he's an international superstar, so it'll be great to see him come with his whole catalog. And you know, Wiz is one of those people that he's so beloved in the community he might bring out people that he doesn't even have songs with because they just respect him and they just want to rock with him.
Yeah, Wiz is definitely someone also where you know you're gonna have fun at a Wiz Khalifa show. I mean, some of the most just amped up crowds I've ever seen have been at some of Wiz's shows. He really connects with the crowd. He really, the people love him, and that's something that really comes through when you see him.
Right. I guess if there, I mean, like we were saying, genre-wise, it's so widespread, the lineup, and people will see that as we get more into who else is playing. But I guess if there's any one thing that sort of runs throughout it, it's these are all artists who put on a pretty fun show. I mean, there's not a lot of people who are gonna bring it down and make it too serious.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be depressed at a festival outside for 2 days.
No.
Oh, did okay.
I'm trying to tweet.
We got Nero now.
We do have Nero now. With
right,
promises.
Well, that's one of the great things too about going to festivals, especially this one, is that some of the music you might not be familiar with, but the artists will win you over with the live shows. Like you definitely go and do your research and probably buy some of this music after you leave the Budweiser Made in America Festival.
Yeah, and catch up and introduce yourself to an artist again, like you just said, like you've never even would have thought that you would have fallen in love with. Even some of these indie artists that wouldn't. This is going.
I agree.
All good.
How do you guys what do you guys think about the way that electronic music has sort of gotten this much wider, whether it's a wider acceptance in this country, or maybe it's just that people are finally paying attention to it. First of all, which do you think it is, and why do you think that's happened?
I think it's definitely gotten wider acceptance, and I think it's because people like to have a live music experience where you can just sort of lose yourself, be in the moment, and EDM really delivers that. It's it's something where you see the top EDM artists, people like Avicii or Swedish House Mafia or whoever it is. It's just peak after peak after peak after peak. There's there's no dull moment in like a really great EDM DJ set, and I think that's something that that really appeals to people. It's people want their money's worth.
Do you have any thoughts on why that didn't happen 10, 15 years ago?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think it's been a slow build in a lot of ways for a long time. In this country, EDM was more of sort of a cult thing that had a sort of dedicated hardcore fan base. And I'm not actually sure why it is that's blown up, but it's just sort of a critical mass thing. I think enough artists started blowing up, and then it just sort of snowballed and took off from there.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know way more people that are going down to Ultra these days than have in the past, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so now it is updating, and we're on to Absol and okay. So Absol, and this this down to the point you were making before. Kendrick is on this track, and the fact that some of the people at the show doing their own sets also guest with other people, so there's definitely the possibility for guest appearances.
Yeah, and we saw it last year with MMG. Establishing, I was saying this earlier, they was establishing their crew, and Kanye, had a major moment with good music. So this is definitely Black Hippie and TV. This is their time to kind of showcase the world in the roster, and they have such a wealth over there of just lyrical phenomenons, and it's going to be a great hip hop moment. It's going to be a great music moment. Period.
Yeah, this is definitely their year. That's funny. You just reminded me of last year of that good music moment at the festival, which was insane.
Yo, Common came up there. I wanted to jump on stage, Ange.
No, you did.
Yes, I did.
They really ripped it down. That was really a great moment at last year's festival.
That was really like a whole concert orgasm. He was just like, yo, they did.
Yeah.
That's why it's exciting to see the whole crew together. Schoolboy Q, Absol, Kendrick,
I think they'll have a moment like that this year. I think that will be.
Yeah, I'm just hoping we get like some live freestyles from them, because they really remind me of like the Essence, like back in 1990s. They really remind me of like when Hieroglyphics and all of those prolific rap crews were doing their thing. So I'm just really looking forward to hearing some new lyrics from all of those guys as well.
Agreed.
Yeah. Guys, I was just asked to remind people who are watching, who just might be tuning in, what's going on here and who we all are. So we're talking about the 2013 Made in America lineup.
This is the official announcement of the lineup. It's happening right now, live.
Official.
Now. Official.
Yes, live on Rock Nation, Jay-Z's Life and Times. I'm John Norris. And
John, just tell her to get on camera. So what does everything make because we can all hear her. Yes. Come on, Jenna. Jenna.
The myth, the legend.
No, they're not. They're refusing to do that. But,
okay, fine.
Yeah. So we got.
I think we're all here because we all, we are all fans of music, and at the end of the day, and a festival like this kind of represents so many different types of music, and I think everybody here in their own right speaks to something very specific, and so it's kind of cool to be able to do this together.
Yeah, and we all support the idea that these artists from all these different genres can come together and make a really exciting festival. So the music has moved on to where are we at? J-Rock now.
J-Rock, that's that West Coast thump right there, and he's had a chance to kind of step outside of the black hippie camp, and he did a lot of stuff with Tech Nine, who is really a veteran of doing these wild stage shows, and I know J-Rock has been taking notes from that, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings on his own, as well as what he's going to contribute collectively with everyone.
Yeah, J-Rock is crazy talented. I mean, the verse that he had with Kendrick on Money Trees last year was maybe verse of the year status for me. That was just the amount, the amount of detail and just power that he packed into those bars was amazing. So he's definitely someone to watch out for.
Next
we got. Well, we're waiting for the next. So I can't reveal it until we get to it. Right? Is that right? Yeah.
Well, Ange.
Yes.
One of the questions here is a question for the panelists. Of those announced so far, who are you most excited to see perform? Anyone?
I want to see Kendrick. I mean,
I agree.
I'm passionate hip hop, but Kendrick. The past year, he's had just such a great time. He's been kind of crowned. Well, MTV crowned him as the hottest MC, and he's had a classic album that all the critics have acclaimed. The people love him in the streets, and he's just been doing it with really no gimmicks, just great music, great concepts, stories, cohesive sound, and I'm just looking forward to seeing all of the great, the masters of hip hop, all of the great MCs have not only been able to put it together on albums and in the streets with the fan appeal, but great shows. You look at Jay-Z, a Lil Wayne, and T.I., they all have great shows. So this is time for Kendrick to elevate and, start making those great shows, putting on those great shows so he could, be up there, for the next 10, 15 years.
Agreed. I want to see A$AP Rocky.
That's going to be fun.
I'm a fan. I think, like you were saying before, he started with that cult following, and then to see him progress and to grow and to be on a stage like that and wear some crazy Alexander Wang outfit, and I think he's gonna rip it down. I'm looking forward to that. And just for a fun, I'm into seeing Calvin Harris also.
I was going to say that. I just want to have some fun. I think the other artists, since I've seen them, is just I want to be introduced to something different now.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see Calvin. So out of the folks that have been announced thus far.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've moved on now to Imagine Dragons, who, as we were saying before, have just. I mean, I don't know if I would have predicted 2 years ago that things would have blown up in the way they have for this band, but it's definitely it's pretty impressive. Then they were just at Terminal 5, the other day, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're really, really blowing up, really having a moment. And I think, to speak to what you're saying, that's right. I wouldn't have necessarily pegged them as, the next, big rock band. But I think sometimes all it takes is, just one really great, really catchy song, and that can, sort of take you to the next level. And it's really, it's working out for them.
Yep, totally.
Losing everything here.
Right.
How you doing, Angie?
I'm a mess.
Are you hanging in there?
You're holding it together admirably.
I haven't coughed or sneezed or did anything really offensive the whole time so far, so we're doing okay.
Hey, Shaheem.
That's all we can ask for sometimes.
Shaheem.
Yes, John.
I was just handed a note to remind people to let you give a mention to the roundup, just in case people are not aware of it.
Yes, absolutely. A great person by the name of Sean Carter has a website called lifeandtimes.com. I have a talk show on there. It is called The Roundup, where I talk to some of your favorite artists, Hollywood celebrities. We're going to have some athletes. We have some great conversations. We're 5 episodes in. The 6th will be out this week. And you can see it by subscribing to lifeandtimes.com. Please check me out. Check us out.
Is it all music, or you do culture and sports and that kind of thing as well?
Well, we had Terrence Howard, the actor. We've had Busta Rhymes and Wale. We're going to do some cultural things. We're going to have some fellow journalists. So, John, maybe we can get on there and talk about our times together. Angie, please, I would love to have you as well.
That'd be great.
Everybody from this panel, it'll be great. And we're going to have some athletes, too. So it's just having some great conversations.
Okay, guys, so musically, Spotify's moved on to Calvin Harris. I know we talked about Calvin a little bit already, but this particular song, Sweet Nothing, has got Florence Welch on it. But, I mean, why do you think Calvin's a guy that so many artists, big-name artists, like to work with and collaborate with?
Angie?
Me?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's the music. It's the hits, right? He makes those records, those undeniable, make you dance, I
think it gives you that energy. Even with Sweet Nothings, it sounds like a sweet love song, but when it's just crazy. It still just gives you that energy.
Yeah.
Well,
the guy makes hits, right? Yes. People like hits. It's really what
I was gonna say. The great thing about him is that he's one of the people who makes records that's a kind of tailor-made for this stadium type of vibe. Like, these songs are tailor-made to have 50, 60, 70,000 people sing along with them, and some of them dance along with them. So it's gonna be a major moment.
Absolutely.
So I think he's working with Florence Welch on this, and she has the same type of vibe with giant stadiums or arena rock, whatever the word I'm looking for here. But there aren't that many people making better music in the world than her right now, and to see those two come together and create this kind of upbeat dance thing is really cool.
He's having a good year too. I think he won his first Grammy this year, right? Didn't he, for the Neo song for Let's Go?
He did win a Grammy. Yeah, I don't.
I think it was his first one. I think I read that it was his first Grammy. Yeah.
Yep. All right, we got ASAP. We got ASAP now on Spotify, and in this particular one, Walk for the Night, Skrillex is guesting. I don't know if Skrillex is. I don't think.
Woo!
Could happen. Anything could happen.
What's that?
I just said anything could happen. I think, so I don't know if Skrillex is going to show up there, but that song is actually a great example of just, Rocky's range. It's a combination that I wouldn't have necessarily thought would work on paper. You think like Skrillex and Rocky, but it totally works. It's
totally works. So, totally works.
Yeah, so I think that speaks to both of them, actually, both having that sort of, range and ability to sort of stretch their talents.
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward. This is, for the people watching this, I have no prior knowledge. I don't know who Rocky's bringing out. He hasn't announced if he'll have any guests, but as a fan, I would like to see him bring out Rakim. I remember talking to you, Angie, about that.
That was one of my favorite interviews of the past year or two. Was that moment? Yeah.
That was an amazing interview.
Thank you.
I would love to see the two of them
How great is Rakim? I like to see Rakim come out with anybody.
Definitely.
Anybody, I don't care who. But I do think that's super cool. For those of you watching that might not know, you know, ASAP Rocky was actually named after Rakim. His mother was a big fan of Rakim. And they got to meet on my show. It was really sweet and really amazing moment.
So we got Red Light on now with from Astronauts with Faulty Track. Thoughts on Red Light?
That's you, Simon.
What?
Yo.
Nate.
I'll kick that one back to Simon.
Red Light, great artist. Red Light's great.
Great artist.
Cool.
Great artist. Great artist.
Is the song playing?
I'm playing it right now.
This is playing.
Is it?
This is playing. Are you guys? Do you have a lot of festivals on your schedule for the summer? Or the rest of you, like besides Main America?
There is no other festival, John. This is the only festival to ever exist.
What is festivals? What
That's
about
the way to get in trouble.
What about festivals in general? Would you rather see an artist you like in the show of their own, or do you enjoy seeing, even if it's a shorter set? Because obviously, if you play a festival, sometimes you're not going to be able to play an hour-and-a-half set.
It's a different experience. I think when you go to see somebody like in an intimate kind of setting and you might be really into that one artist, and that's cool. But when you go to a festival, you want more than that. You want to be introduced to things. You want to dance. You want the environment. You want to feel all the energy of all the people there. You know, it's a completely different experience.
Do you think festivals bring out people who are less hardcore into the music because they want the whole hangout experience?
I think they bring both. I think both.
To me, I think it's a little bit. It might bring out people who are more hardcore into the music because, you know, you have to sit through a lot of different people to get to. Say you're a fan of one person, you have to sit through different acts to see the one person that you like. So when these people come to festivals, they come with open minds and, you know, open hearts, ready to be exposed to, you know, different types of music.
Yeah, it's true.
I know from artist's point of view, artists always tell me that the great thing about festivals is one time of the year when they're not just with the same people day after day when they're on the road. It's the backstage experience is something special. You do get to see a lot of people that you don't see all the time.
Mm.
Yeah, and you know, from an artist perspective, this is what you work for. I mean, you know, a lot of artists, you know, from indie up to mainstream superstars. I would imagine you always have that dream of performing in front of 50, 60,000 plus people. Like, it's great to be at a Madison Square Garden, but to go out in an open air venue and just have a sea of people where you can't see anything but just bodies, gotta be amazing. It has to be an amazing experience.
Well, on the music on Spotify, we made it through Rudimental. We didn't talk about Rudimental, and now we're on to Phoenix.
Oh man, Phoenix, great.
Amazing band that's on the way back. Brand new album called Bankrupt.
Yeah, and that new album is fantastic. I don't know if people have had a chance to hear some of the music or saw them on Saturday Night Live, but you know, it's been like, I guess, a 4-year wait since their last, you know, really awesome album, and they're coming back strong. I think this is definitely one to be really excited about.
And I've only seen those guys at festivals, and they're incredible, so I strongly recommend you guys check it out if you're there.
Right. You know, Phoenix is something that people have been waiting for. It's almost like last year, even though that wait hasn't been long, like last year when we was all waiting on D'Angelo to see what he was going to bring to the table, we haven't had to wait nearly half as long for Phoenix, but it'll be great to see him come back.
Absolutely, yeah. You can tell the excitement for these guys. They just played a small show at Music Hall last, I think it was Friday night.
Right.
Yeah. And people are very excited about this record.
So Kai Alexander Music mentions that they need to start reading our comments. LOOL.
I can't see the comments.
I don't have them, so I'll let you.
They're right on the right-hand side.
Oh, I don't know where I'm
The YouTube
on the
link.
YouTube link, yeah.
YouTube.
I'm so afraid to open it and to lose you guys. Okay, let's do it. All right, I'm not. Okay, shush.
Yes.
Hi, Alexander.
I'm trying to open it right now.
Love to be signed by Jay-Z one day. So Jay, if you're out there listening.
Calvin Harris' best collab was Please elaborate on this. I live in England.
Okay, let me see where they're at musically.
Bring this more internationally.
The guy in the plaid shirt.
The guy in the black shirt is cute.
So, just so you know.
Ow.
Sorry, guys, I'm married.
Look at
Angie, they're digging your hair, so.
me.
Yeah.
Oh boy, but I don't have the plaid.
Festivals are what's up. You got snacks, music, and sunburns.
Lul at the way he just read that. What are you guys out there excited to see? You can hear us. Leave your comments. What of what we've read so far, what are you pumped about?
Yeah, good question.
Well,
All right, should we move it on with the music?
I'm having a problem here.
Oh, we are?
Leave your comments. We'll get back to you.
Definitely.
they're excited. I see it trending.
Okay, now I'm seeing the comments. I'm plugged in all the way now.
You changed, so I skipped one. Okay. All right, guys. So musically, we're on the 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
Oh man, 2 Chainz.
Chainz, you know, he had that big moment last year when he came out with Kanye. He was sort of like last year. 2 Chainz he was building, right. At this point, his album had either just come out or was coming out. Now he has a whole album of hits to go along with all of his guest appearances. And you know, me personally, when I'm Different comes on, that's gonna shake the whole stadium. That's what I'm predicting for 2 Chainz. I think I'm Different is gonna be his biggest record at the festival.
Yeah, 2 Chainz, I mean, you talk about like a high energy performer. I mean, he's someone who he can steal the show from, you know, any number of even bigger stars when he gets on a track with someone. So you know when he's on the stage by himself, he's really going to sort of command the spotlight.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, and last year when he came out, he was sort of the underdog status. Now he returns as a big superstar. He's been nominated for a Grammy. He has a gold album that's approaching platinum. He's still putting out singles for his album. So it's just a great story in general of 2 Chainz. Somebody who was really slept on with Players Circle. He redefined himself with the name 2 Chainz and brought a new swag and, you know, improved musically, and now he's one of the big.
And he's got hits.
Yes.
He's got a lot of hits.
Yo.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of hits.
But like he was trying to say, since his mic is a little bootlegged over there, what you got going on in your system, Sean?
I don't know. This is the second time it happened.
I think the dude from the block came and set your joint up. That's what I think. Anyway, when he came out on stage last year, just like you said, everybody was looking around like, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? And like Ant said, dude got hits. Like everybody knows who he is now. So when he comes back, it's just gonna be like, yo, it's just gonna be even that more energetic.
Yeah.
All right, we're going back on the list because we switched the order a little bit, and we got Porter Robinson up now. Porter Robinson with Matt Zoe.
Oh man, Porter Robinson, you know, he's sort of a close protege of Skrillex's, and he's someone who's really, you know, he's next. He's a rising star on the EDM scene, so that's definitely something that the EDM heads, I'm sure, are very excited about.
Mm-hmm.
How was it last year, you guys? Was it back and forth between one genre or the other, or did they have one time a day that was more hip hop, one that was more rock?
I think it was fairly back and forth throughout the day.
Yeah.
I kept hearing different sounds, and you had, I think it was like 3 stages that you could pick from. So there was always a different thing happening there. So if you stayed in one area the whole time, you saw it would change, and then it would change. It would be a different genre, and you could take in a lot at once.
Were there anything about Made in America that, either in terms of just the vibe or the layout of it, was different from other festivals you've been to?
Ange, what do you think?
Well, I would just go back to what I was saying before, that normally when you go to these type of festivals, you know, it's like you're in these big, like, open land grass or fields. And there was really something super cool about being in like normal streets that had been cleared out for this festival. It really felt like something different and something special. You really also felt like, sure, there was a ton of people that traveled for it, but you really felt Philly there too. You felt like people, you know what I mean? You felt also a local presence too.
You could recognize the South Philly boys. You could recognize the dude up in the corner office. It was a nice vibe. So I liked the layout, how everything. And we gotta commend the city because they did well in terms of like. It really was amazing
the way they shut those blocks down. And there were little patches where you still had this like. There was one patch on the side. I remember there was some grass and they had some hammocks set up. And to be in the middle of like Philly streets on a small patch of grass, swinging on a hammock while somebody's rocking on the stage, it really is kind of a surreal, cool experience.
Nice.
So in the music now, we've moved on to a couple guys who, I mean, a lot of people in this lineup have had great years. There's few have had better years than Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
Oh man.
Needless to say. Thoughts on the way that they've blown up, and I interviewed them at South by, and we were talking about the fact that as well as this record is done, and even the singles that came out before the Heist album, that Thrift Shop has just exponentially done even so much better than everything else, and the way that it kind of became this thing.
Did you know that Thrift Shop was viewed 201 million times?
Oh yeah, it's massive. It's huge.
That is an insane number.
Right, and I think it's amazing that they've really built this organically. They Macklemore and Ryan Lewis do everything themselves. They run their own label. It's just them. They don't have anyone behind them. And
what a great situation to be in.
Yeah, and they've successfully made themselves into stars. I mean, I spent some time with them down at South by Southwest for a story that ran in Rolling Stone, and I was able to see the way that just Macklemore in specific has become a pop star. He walks down the street and kids are constantly coming up to him, asking for an autograph, asking for a photo. The people love him. He's the people's champ, and I think those hard years of hard work are paying off.
It's amazing to me that they can do this pivot too between party jams and something as sort of like silly as Thrift Shop in a fun way, or Can't Hold Us, and then they also do this more thoughtful songs like Same Love, and the fact that they can do that, and obviously and apparently their fans are just going along with that,
Yeah, there's Macklemore is definitely a guy with a lot of levels to him. He's not just one thing, and I think that's something that really sort of helps him connect with the fan base. They see there's a genuine, real person there.
In fact,
he's somebody who's been building up his fan base. We talked about A$AP Rocky having the cult following. Macklemore is somebody who's had it too. We did him on the XXL freshman cover a couple of years ago with French Montana and guys of that caliber, and nobody knew who Macklemore was. And we did our research, and we were seeing his videos were getting like 8 million on YouTube, and with no mainstream song. And we were seeing the YouTube footage of his shows. He was doing like 20,000 people, way before Thrift Shop. He was doing this 2 years ago, so this is tailor-made for him.
Well, now we're in that era where like YouTube views are actually part of the Billboard, top 200 and whatnot. So the guys to unseat Psy and Gangnam Style and the Harlem Shake and everything else that's been taken over lately. So it's good to see for them. They're great dudes, and they're Seattle's own. So
we're doing a story, in fact, just to get one indication of Thrift Shop and how you just can't escape it. A story today on Fuse News about this woman, no lie, who was arrested just a couple of days ago for assaulting her boyfriend because he wouldn't stop singing the hook to Thrift Shop.
That's true.
That's not right. That's taking it too far.
Right? And she's like, and her quote was, I told them I had to ask him to stop 25 times at least. So instead
it was his birthday.
Yeah, exactly. And
he'll be bringing him out at the festival.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So guys, I was handing a note just to mention one note to people, because earlier we played Kendrick and Drake was on that track. Just so that there's no confusion, Drake is not on the lineup for Made in America, or not on the announced lineup, right?
Yeah, you never know, right?
Exactly, you never know, right?
Wink
But
face.
just so there's no confusion about that, at least so that not at the moment anyway. We I think have moved on or maybe not. Maybe this is a long version that Can't Hold Us.
The extended remix.
On mine, it has a TJR.
Yeah, on mine it's got We can talk about TJR. I'm sure it's. I think it might have frozen. Yeah. Thoughts, guys? Higher,
I mean, he's one of the best songwriters out right now, making great music, and I think it's a good addition to the lineup, especially for people who aren't necessarily fans of the dancer hip hop scene, but they want to see more of that, like, just good rock songwriting, and he'll provide that.
That neo-classic rock.
Can I move on? Does your I don't have the they took the Spotify away from me for a second. So you tell me, are we on to the next one?
We are on to the next one, and that is can I say it?
Yeah, you can say it because it doesn't get much bigger than this. Huh?
Oh man.
Go ahead.
Public Enemy.
Wow.
That's gonna be amazing.
Yo.
Wow.
There you go.
That's incredible. I mean, Chuck D is a legend. He's been one of the most amazing live performers, in hip hop or any genre for decades.
They are gonna rip that festival down.
Yeah.
They are born. They are born to do festivals like this.
Yeah, they might have to go on last. They might have to go on last because after Welcome to the Terror Dome and Fight the Power, I don't know what's gonna be able to follow that.
How many times you think they're gonna bring back Fight the Power?
Were you guys all for the festival last year?
What was that?
Everyone was there for the festival last year, right?
I was not.
I was not, sadly. Yeah, I had to miss it.
Because they had the Run DMC reunion. That was just
that was amazing. Yes.
Yeah. There's always something really cool about seeing like classic artists with like a really good catalog on a festival stage. It just really kind of brings everybody together because even if hip hop is not your favorite genre of music, you're there for some indie rock or whatever, you know, classic songs, everybody knows them, and it just, I don't know, there's something really cool when those moments happen on that type of stage.
Did I read the other day, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm imagining this, that Chuck was quoted as somewhere as saying that he didn't originally think Fight the Power was
right.
Was going to connect.
Yeah, that's right. There was a piece we actually did on RollingStone.com about the making of Public Enemy's second album, and Chuck was saying like, yeah, Fight the Power wasn't a song that he thought was going to be big. He wasn't even sure if he wanted to put it on the album, when they first made it. But then he was talked into it, and obviously the rest is history. So that
amazing.
It's an amazing story. Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm sorry. Now? Okay.
We heard it.
Changing the order. Yeah. Okay, guys. I'm told that the one and only Beyonce is on up now.
Oh man!
Right over my shoulder here.
Down.
Wow!
Yes, I see,
Wow!
actually.
Yo.
Kind of an Easter egg.
That's big. That's big news.
Following along.
It is big news. Newly back from Cuba. All's good with them. Good tan, I would imagine.
There's going to be new music, I'm sure by then too. There'll be some other songs that we may be hearing by then. Yeah. And listen, any time you get to see Beyonce live is a good time. Like whenever, wherever, whatever stage. This is a woman who was born to do this. This is a woman who knows how to rip down any stage from the Super Bowl to an intimate venue, and she will rise to every occasion, and she will rise to the occasion of this festival like nobody's business.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, anyone who's seen Beyonce live knows it's an unforgettable experience anytime she walks on stage. So that's gonna be amazing. Yeah.
Beyonce makes you feel like you can dance even when you can't dance. She makes you feel like you're on stage dancing with her.
And Beyonce got hits.
Definitely got hits. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Beyonce though, as a performer, she's one of those performers that you'll see her, you'll remember her performance in 5 years. 5 years from now or 10 years from now, you'll remember being at this festival and you'll remember Beyonce. She's just one of those type of performers that that is timeless and never misses.
Yeah, and she's someone who can do the big pop spectacle with the dancers and all the visual effects, and it's really cool. But at the core of it, there's just one insanely, crazily talented person who's
Absolutely
really, unbelievable. So that's always a treat to see.
You know, you guys brought up an interesting.
There'll be people that are going to travel there just to see Beyonce.
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and it will be worth it.
Jay-Z is one of them.
Absolutely. You think Jay-Z could ever get tired of seeing Beyonce perform? Impossible.
I doubt it.
I mean, and also what a year too, right? Between the HBO thing, and I just read that she's gonna be the chairwoman of the Metropolitan's Costume Institute big gala ball this year. It's like one thing after another.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of always Beyonce's year, but this year especially more than ever.
Yeah.
It's always Beyonce's year.
The inauguration.
It's her
GQ
year.
covers.
There was that inauguration thing, right?
That small thing, and the Super Bowl was a tiny thing also. It was a tiny little Super Bowl.
And she shut the power down at the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
So that begs the question now. You got Beyonce, Public Enemy. You got people like Phoenix and Macklemore. I mean, you know, you guys brought up the point earlier of who's going to headline. I haven't seen the lineup, you know, who's playing when, but how do you, if you were planning this thing, if you were deciding who is headlining each day?
I mean, you know, Beyonce can't open up for anybody. She's the biggest star on the planet, arguably. So I would think she has to headline one of the days. I would almost.
You got to figure Public Enemy are going to go on last one day too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
Maybe. You never know. Sometimes you know, in the middle of the day, sometimes you need that.
Right.
That boost, that little energy boost.
Yeah, that, you know, you need that moment that kind of brings it, gives everybody like a second wind.
Yeah. Well,
So
this is like a good problem for a festival to have when you have that many acts on the bill that you can see as headliners that could close out a show. I mean, that makes for a fantastic experience for the fans.
That's a great point.
Those two last, right?
All of them could headline.
Two that are left.
Yeah.
Because we haven't gotten to those yet.
This is one of those type of things. Like, when do you get a chance to go to the bathroom? Because you want to see everybody.
Yeah, but it was surprisingly organized and efficient, so don't worry about that.
Well, guys, let me just wind up because there's two I haven't mentioned yet. So let's wind up talking about them. We got Deadmau5. Speaking of electronic music.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's the king of that scene in some ways. I mean, you know he's going to bring the amazing helmets with the mouse ears. That's always fun for the people.
That's another dude who's already, in less than a decade, already legendary status, and a lot of us here are big fans of him. I don't think he's too big of a fan of us right now, but yeah, we love Deadmau5, so I'm really excited for that one.
Oh, cool. I'm just reading some of the comments. People going crazy over Beyonce.
Yes.
Beyonce. That's huge. That's amazing.
Yeah, people are going nuts.
Do you want to read some? Or
somebody asked, will Flavor Flav be there?
I hope so. Yeah.
I mean, it's not PE without Flavor Flav, so I would imagine absolutely. Somebody said we need a Made in England to happen. Listen, I'm sure that's on the way. Mrs. Carter, yeah, they're going crazy over Beyonce. I told you, people are gonna travel just to see her.
Nah, she'll never let you down if you go see a show.
Well, that's a headliner. She'll shut it down for sure.
And then we got one more that we haven't announced yet, and certainly one of the more powerful rock bands on the planet. And
is this the last one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Get ready.
Yeah. And also a band that's got a new record on the way. Queens of the Stone Age.
Wow.
If people are listening to it now, no one knows is on. So looking forward to hearing from those guys again for sure.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. Great live act. Great rock act. They'll really bring that hard rock energy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Did we do it?
Desert Sound. That's it. But
we did it. Well done, guys.
I wasn't there last year, like I said, but to me, this is one of the strongest festival lineups I've seen for this summer, and I've seen a lot of them.
I think you're right.
We caught the last name on the list, right?
They want us to some of the comments on YouTube again. Could we repeat the list? So you want to run down the list again? Are you able to do that?
Oh gosh,
real quick.
Maybe run down some highlights. Maybe yeah.
You want to go through it?
Yeah, John, you do it.
Did you guys just asked me if I got to the last name? The last name on my list that we changed things up a bit was Beyonce. Do you have a different list?
We have on the Spotify playlist a new name. Is at the bottom there. I don't know if you guys are seeing the same one I'm seeing.
I don't have it in front of me, Spotify. So you guys.
I see Miguel.
We'll take it. So
take it.
Yeah.
I don't have Miguel on my list, but
I love Miguel.
Yes.
He's got. I think Miguel single-handedly with that song "Adorn" like changed where R&B was going.
Totally.
Single-handedly.
Just saving it single. Yes, helping it. Yes.
Yeah, just really bringing it back to like a real kind of timeless type of music. And for a song like that to do so well across the board and on the charts and on radio, it sets the tone. It makes it easier for somebody else to come out with.
And then not to mention, what's her name? Kelly Clarkson. Remember at the awards?
Right.
She's like, what a drug, whatever.
I mean, I know.
I don't know who you are, but we got to do a record together. Like, she even fell in love with him. So Miguel is definitely that dude.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of cliche to compare him to Prince, but I really think that Kaleidoscope record was like so. I went out of my way to introduce myself to Miguel at the Grammys this year just because I think he's so amazing, and I agree, Angie, that it's sort of he's sort of done a reinvention in a way of
yeah. When you look at like, you look at this new single that Chris Brown has out, like Fine China. It's I feel like people are experimenting with like real kind of classic music again in that genre, and I think songs like that, like what Miguel's been able to do, has really helped to keep people's minds open to that and pushing that type of music along. So I think Miguel has had an amazing year. He's been working hard. He's got great songs. He knows how to get on that stage and do his little, like you said, Prince, that type of performance. And I think he's going to be really great. I think he's going to be a refreshing kind of different note on this festival.
That's a great addition for sure.
Yeah.
Great props right now on tour with Alicia Keys too. Like he's tearing down those. I heard he's killing all of the stadiums right now on the Alicia Keys tour.
Yeah, they're at the Garden tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His music brings us sex too. Is this a family show made in America?
Some parts. portions of it.
Wait, there were a lot of kids down there last year. Some of them were with their parents, and some of them were kind of alone. But I didn't see them like really doing anything crazy. But I'm going to agree with Ange.
If there's an artist that you don't feel you want your kid around, the good news is there's 3 stages you can take to another stage during that performance.
And the good news is if they're of age, they can get on SEPTA by themselves and go back home.
Yeah.
How about that? The parents can say.
Exactly. I think it's gonna be a great festival. Do you have a full lineup? Can we do a quick rundown?
Sure. I can. You want to go? Do you guys have them all, or do you want me to go through them?
You go it. You go it.
Okay. So just to recap, what an amazing lineup this is for Made in America 2013. We got Solange, we got the Gaslight Anthem, Emily Sandé out of the UK, Schoolboy Q, Walk the Moon, Jesse Rose, Kendrick Lamar, Fits in the Tantrums, Wolfgang Gartner, Aluna George, Haim, Wiz Khalifa, Nero, Absol, Feed Me and Crystal Fighters, GTA, J-Rock, Imagine Dragons, Calvin Harris, ASAP Rocky, Red Light, Phoenix, Rudimental, Porter Robinson with Matt Zoe, 2 Chainz, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, TJR, the one and only Public Enemy, Queens of the Stone Age, Dead Mouse, as we just mentioned, Miguel, and of course, the one and only Beyonce.
Amazing.
What a lineup.
Yeah, seriously.
And by the way, everybody, just so you're clear, it's August 31st and September 1st. Those are the dates, so put them on your calendar, and make a couple of days out of it, a weekend out of it. You won't regret it.
And if you need a hotel room, I'm selling mine for 3 times, which I paid.
We'll be there.
So we'll see you at the festival.
Yes, thanks everybody for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also tune in to the Truth Live at 4 p.m. today to continue the conversation all about Made in America. Thanks everybody.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
And feel better.
Thank you. Now to let everybody know. that we are live and we are all here with my esteemed journalist panel to announce the lineup for Made in America 2013. This is the second annual festival, and there are a whole bunch of acts to be announced. So this is the official announcement of who you will see at the festival this year, and I believe John is going to start the list, right?
That's right. We're gonna go through the music, and as we play the music, we're gonna reveal the lineup. We are playing the music.
We're figuring this out as we go along.
Okay, Angie. All right. So first up, and we're skipping the first one, I'm told. Correct? I was just told that. We're gonna start with Solange. Yes. All right. That's what I'm told. So we got Solange first up, and of course Solange, so blown up in the last few months, particularly sort of in the indie rock world, in addition to the pop and R&B world. Guys, she's the first addition to this lineup. Thoughts?
Excited.
I think that's great. Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah.
That's all you got? Excited? Has anybody seen her perform before or recently?
She's great. She's definitely carving out her own niche outside of her sister's shadow there, and you know, she was in GQ about a month ago, so it's really exciting to see her on the lineup. Looking forward to it.
Let me ask you about the fact that she's gotten this sort of embrace by working with some indie rock. I know she's a big fan of that music, but the fact that she's really gotten this embrace in the last couple of months from that world.
Yeah, she's definitely in that, like, the downtown crew with the Dev Hines and all the cool kids now. So she's in sort of her own lane there, and it's really cool to see.
I'm wondering if she'll bring any of those people out on stage with her at the festival. That'd be something to watch for.
That'd be amazing.
I'm hoping she could DJ a little bit. I like her DJing too. I DJ a few times.
I think she might actually hit us off with both. That would be really exciting.
Yeah.
With what you said, that is a challenge for her, right? To sort of, I mean, you're in the shadow of one of the most famous women in the world, in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's really come into her own, though, as an artist. I mean, that EP she put out last year sort of hasn't left rotation since it came out around my house.
That's one of the great things about these type of festivals, is that you can see the established, you know, people that have made their mark worldwide, but you also can see the people who are like sort of up and coming, the next.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, moving on back to hip hop, we got Schoolboy Q in the lineup.
Ow. Oh, sorry. That's all I got. I would like to add on a side note, if you look at Schoolboy Q's Instagram page, I am the only person he follows. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting for everyone?
Nice. That's nice.
Wow.
Very happy for yourself.
It's so random and bizarre, but I have now a special place in my heart for him for that reason alone.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to seeing him perform.
That's
These
kind
guys
of
all
pressure,
have
though, right? Now you gotta, if he's you're the only person he follows.
I know. I do feel the pressure to like all his photos. I do feel that type of pressure. It's true. I will feel the pressure to make sure I'm somewhere near the stage when he performs at the festival.
All right, moving back to some indie music. Walk the Moon. They had a big record last year in the indie world, anyway, indie pop world. Tightrope was a big song for them. Thoughts on Walk the Moon?
Well, they're definitely a band with a lot of buzz around them, and I think one thing that's really cool about this festival is that you can really see just sort of the diversity and the range of different kinds of artists. You know, the fact that you can see, you know, a Schoolboy Q, you know, 1 minute, or Walk the Moon, you know, the next. I think that's a cool experience that's true to the way people listen to music. I think that's really cool.
I don't need to tell you guys that a gentleman who had, you know, one of the biggest records and biggest years of last year is Kendrick Lamar, and happy to say that Kendrick is in the lineup as well.
Amazing.
That's amazing. I can't wait to see. I really hope, you know, Kendrick brings out some of the guests that he's done. You know, I would love to see him and Jay do their collaboration. I would love to see him and Drake, but he has a lot of great records on his own, and you know, this is a beautiful moment for TDE. You know.
Did we lose you?
Did we lose Shah?
I think we did.
A little bit.
Man, he was saying something amazing too. I know
he was.
I know it was. I'm excited about Kendrick. I think it's this is clearly Kendrick's year, and I think it'll be interesting to see him on a stage of that magnitude with all these different type of artists to see how he kind of rises to the occasion, which I'm sure he will.
Without a doubt.
Definitely think
Yeah.
he will.
All right. Well, moving on, we got an indie pop group with sort of a retro vibe. Fits in the Tantrums, who I've seen a couple times, and they're interesting band to me because they've got this this ability to sort of cross over into the I think there's certain indie acts that have the ability to sort of have mainstream pop traction, and they do this sort of it's pretty much a straight up fun show from start to finish.
Yeah, they're an incredibly fun live act, and I think you're right. They have this great sort of retro classic soul sound, but then they sort of put a new spin on it, take it into the 21st century in a kind of a cool way that I think people really enjoy.
I'm a little amazed at how many names there are on this list, you guys.
I know, we may have.
There are, yes.
We're going to be here all day.
Exactly. I'm looking at like about 20 more. Not to scare anybody who's watching, but
well, all the more reason to go to the festival. You have 20 days. We have 2 days. It's 2 days of festival, so they got to fill it up, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, we didn't skip one, did we? I see somebody on the list there.
I think we did skip a name.
Yeah, before Kendrick.
John.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is what happens, Angie. I need my glasses. I deliberately didn't wear my glasses because they were too old. Jesse Rose is the one I skipped. I'm sorry about that. House artist, electronic artist, Jesse Rose.
Cool.
Thoughts?
Cool.
Yeah. And Wolfgang Gartner on the house tip as well.
Right. So you'll have something to dance to definitely that weekend.
For sure. Including Aluna George, continuing on with the electronic sound.
Do these guys all have the Spotify link? Because they know they can follow along, right, and see the songs and the artists as they come in?
Oh, you should tell people.
Let me grab that.
Am I back? Can you guys hear me?
Good job, Nate. Good job. Way to stay on the ball, Nate.
Back?
Try.
Okay.
So when I was at South by just a couple weeks ago, I think maybe one of the maybe 5 most talked about artists were Haim. Looks like Haim, but it's pronounced Haim. LA girls who definitely, I mean, since going back to at least some point last year, really been getting a lot of attention. And Haim will be there for sure.
Yeah, I saw them put on an incredible show at South by Southwest a couple weeks ago, and they're just a really sort of dynamic, vivid live act. They really connect with the crowd. They have great sort of between songs patter, in addition to really sort of bringing it on stage. A really sort of a classic rock sound that sounds sort of updated in a great way. A
guy that I know you guys know, and I met a couple times, including at the Grammys, when every time I would see Wiz, Wiz is one of the, like they say when some people wear a certain kind of cologne that it arrives before they do.
Like, him and Snoop have the same cologne.
What's that?
Him and Snoop Dogg have the same cologne.
Exactly. Yeah. Not the name of it. But anyway, yeah, Wiz Khalifa definitely going to be there, part of Made in America.
I wonder if he'll bring Amber and the baby.
You know that. I mean, Wiz is seasoned now,
It's true.
Yeah.
All right, I'm posting the Spotify link in the chat here, y'all.
Okay.
So if anyone can see it, I hope so. Let us know.
All right, I need you EDM fans to help me out now with Nero, because that's our next artist on the lineup. Are you guys hearing me?
What was that?
Oh, it's it. Nero, EDM artist, our next artist on the lineup.
Oh yeah, Nero, they're great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely,
we're gonna have
EDM
to.
Presence.
You said they have a strong media presence.
No, I'm saying there's a strong EDM presence at this festival so far, and I think that's an interesting thing about it.
For sure. All right, back to the hip hop front. Absol going to be there.
Great. Absol is he's like sort of like the unsung hero of the whole TDE crew. I feel like he's really someone who's poised to really break out this year.
Yeah, and that's another great thing about the TDE camp, because the people, you know, obviously.
And I think she's successfully shown that she's not limited by one genre, that she has a really sort of unique, you know, sort of her own take on music, that she can kind of express herself in a lot of different forms. And I think that's something that's really cool and has really attracted a big audience.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to see some of these chats of these comments on the chat. I'm trying to find them. Are any of you guys more savvy at this than I am? Because I know there's some chatting going on.
I think we're in the same boat.
You can see it on the side. If you guys go to the YouTube link, it's over on like the right rail.
How do I do that and not get disconnected from this very important page and announce it?
They're just going to open up in another window.
Yeah, open up another window and then mute it.
Ah, yes, very exciting.
Yes.
Is there? Can you see them, Shamar? Can you see the comments? Any comments up there?
Let me see. I can. Wait. Actually, no, I can't.
Diane
right, John.
G says, I love Solange. She's a great performer. I'm really happy about this.
Yeah, okay.
Good.
All right.
You guys are going to be my correspondents because I don't want to try to open that box and disconnect myself. All right, John, give us the next one.
All right, moving on to a little bit of alt rock here. We got the Gaslight Anthem, who just were in town either last night or the night before. I know a lot of people I work with were going to see them, and a lot of people excited about that. So Gaslight Anthem.
Yeah, these guys, they always put on a really, really great show. I know they're sort of renowned for their live shows. Brian Fallon, their front man, is a really just dynamic presence on stage. And, you know, they have a lot of famous fans. You know, Bruce Springsteen is one of their huge influences, and also someone who's actually come out on stage with them a few times. So who knows, he might be in Philly this summer.
Absolutely.
That's what's cool about these kind of festivals. You get an artist that brings out like Bruce Springsteen to watch them perform, and then he's there to see like, you know, the new up and coming hip hop artist because he's there for the festivals. This is what's cool about it.
For sure.
Okay, should we go to the next?
So we Fuse News actually not too long ago was on the red carpet over the Brit Awards, which was maybe like a month ago, and the big winner of the night, Entertainer of the Year at the Brit Awards, is a woman who's just sort of kind of starting to make her mark in this country, and that's Emily Sandé. So she's going to be at Made in America as well. She's made in the UK, but hey, I think America's starting to embrace her.
Yeah, I think she's someone who's really poised for sort of an American takeover. I think this is her moment for that.